Welcome, everybody, to the Ivy League podcast. We are three huge Cubs fans that are excited for today more than any other day. We've got real baseball, and it's not just that fake Japanese crap. It's real.
Oh, that shit wasn't fake. It was real.
Well, we're 0-2, man. We're 0-2. I don't respect it anymore. We're 0-2 because of that. No, by the way, I'm not a knucklehead that thinks that. We lost. We got our butt with. That's okay. But no, man, this is it. Today is the day. We are looking about 2 hours away from first pitch of the Cubs stateside regular season opener with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Gentlemen, this is let's take some thoughts off the top, man. Ethan, just give me your thoughts, man. We're ready to go.
Opening day, it's like Christmas but better. Okay,
all right.
For me, it's
just. For the longest times, the Cubs just weren't good, and opening day was just the one day of the year where we could just watch baseball and not have to think in mid-May we're not going to make the playoffs.
Right.
So opening day,
not have to worry about the record.
Yeah.
Everyone's still in it right now.
But I think this is going to be a fun season. I know the Japan trip didn't go as planned. You cannot dictate an entire season on 2 games, and if you are, you need to lay off the bourbon. And
I don't know, man. We only have 160 games left. I don't know, man. We're running out of time.
Bourbon is delicious, though.
Rob, what's your thoughts, man?
I mean, dude, I'm stoked. I actually requested a late start at work tomorrow.
There you go.
It's Eastern time over here, so game doesn't start till like 10 o'clock. So it means I'm
aware,
up,
man.
Up till 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock this morning. I
finally locked in the MLB TV season thing for the one team. So
yeah, T-Mobile came in clutch with the shout out T-Mobile, sponsor us.
I'm so pissed. Shout out Verizon just so we can get anybody wants sponsors. Let's go.
If you're a company that exists in America,
if you have an extra $20, we'll do it for $20, guys. Anyone have an extra $20? Throw it our way. But
yeah, obviously stoked.
So
man.
today we had a nice. We had a good day today in baseball. I mean, we're already. It's 8 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. Ethan's time, and Rob, you're also Easter, as we just said. But we've already had a full day of baseball. We got the Yankees started off today, beating the Brewers, which is great. We're not. I guess we are in last place. We're 0-2. But the Brewers went down, and that helped me. I am 1-0 in gambling, guys. 1-0. So I think I'm either not bet anymore, so I finish the season undefeated, or double down on it.
Double down.
Yes, and we got some good. I think we talked earlier. So I'm in Florida, so all this stuff is legal, and it's all with the up and up. But it's exciting to see them come in live, and the Yankees game was a good little W for me. But I loved watching baseball all day. Did you guys watch any of that today?
Yeah. The biggest power threat of 2025, the Chicago White Sox.
Oh my God!
Just like we all predicted.
Just like we all thought, exactly.
Woo!
Exactly.
White Sox fans starting the season 1-0.
Well, that's the problem, right?
Best record you'll have all year.
They already won 10% of the wins they're gonna get all season. So they're pretty much this is their World Series.
They're gonna win 40 this year.
Yeah, they've already gotten one out of the way. There's only 39 left.
I feel bad for the Angels. It's day 1 of baseball, and their season's already over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. The problem is
have this year, other than like Sean.
Well, who they get? They got somebody that kind of upped their lineup.
I mean,
a little bit.
Kyle Hendricks. But
no, I was watching today, and they again, like my bad for not remembering, but like they have another person. They finally have another bat in the lineup. Because last year without Ohtani, they just kind of didn't do shit. But they got Jorge Soler. Yeah, I saw him strike out today with the bases loaded, and that was because they had a chance to come back. They were down. I mean, they ended up losing by like 7 or 8 runs, but they were only down 3 in this. I think it was 7th inning, the bases loaded, and Soler struck out. And that's the thing with that. Soler's either going to strike out or get a grand slam.
Twins Cardinals is in the bottom of the 8th, by the way.
Yeah.
What's the score?
Cardinals are up 5-3.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, other than that, everyone else in the Central lost today, so that's good.
Yeah.
Listen, just
Tigers
so anyone out there knows, we're not standings watching from game 1, but it's fun to talk about when they lose.
No, but I think a part of the show going forward, especially being the time we record it Thursday evenings, there's going to be games going on, and absolutely that's part of the chatter, and that's part of the fun. Part of the fun is watching what's going on with everything else. So,
well, with opening night comes starting lineups. Nico Horner is in the lineup today.
Batting first.
He's batting 6th. We got
Nico. I was announcing.
Gotcha. We got Ian Happ. We got Kyle Tucker. We got Seiya, Bush, Swanson. Nico at 6. PCA at 7. Shaw down to 8, and then Amaya bringing up the rear. What do you guys think of that lineup? And we took a look at it a little bit before we jumped on the board here.
I'm happy to see Shaw at 8. I'm happy to see Shaw at 8. He was way too high in the lineup in Japan for all the pressure that was on him.
I'm more happy to see PCA getting some respect at the 7.
I still like him at 9, man, just to turn over the lineup well. But
I like him at 9, right. But look at the way that 3, 4, 5, that 3 to 6 is constructed.
Yeah.
You've got some power to clean up what's on the base with Seiya. You got Bush, who's kind of contact power. He's not really like a defined extremist hitter, contactor power.
Right.
You got Dansby, who has looked really good so far.
Yeah, in the limited
5. And if he continues hitting the way he's hitting, Dansby at 5 is awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
And then you got Nico in front of him, who's going to get on base quite a bit.
Right.
And then you got Pete to drive in Nico and Swanson potentially. And behind him, you've got the rookie phenom, hopefully.
Yeah. It's a good lineup. I mean, the funny thing is, like, we say this, but we only scored like 2 runs or 3 runs, whatever, in Japan. I'm with you. But I'm with you, Robert. I think it looks like a good lineup. I think, for me, again, like I'll say this, probably even if Counsell leaves it the whole way, I'll still say this. I think I like PCA batting 9th. I like Miguel not necessarily being there. I like how Pete's almost like a second leadoff hitter. I think I said before, where if he's 9th and then bring the top of the line. But anyway, either way, we got what we got, and I think I'm excited. I can't wait to see.
But I guess my final thought on that is, let's say Pete starts an inning, and then the 2 guys behind him get out. That still leaves Pete on base with our leadoff hitter coming up the bat.
But he'll be at 3rd.
Right. Exactly. Bases, so. Then all Hap has to do is, all Hap and Tucker have to do is catch a walk or get a single.
I get it. I get it.
I see it from both sides, though.
Yeah, there's no like real science going on. I just like that PC at the very end, so he gets on base for Hap and Tucker instead of getting on base for Shaw and Amaya. But yeah, Ethan, give me the final word. I mean, how do you think what do you think about the changes they made?
Well, I just think that this lineup is a little bit more geared to win. And I also, Kyle Tucker's got to find his groove with the Cubs, right?
I think he did the last at bat, though. The last at bat, he looked good in Japan. And don't forget, Nico's back in the mix, too. So that's going to be interesting to see how he pops off.
And I like that Nico's starting out at 6 because, last year wasn't his greatest year. And then he's coming off an injury. I think giving him time to be higher in the order instead of rushing him back in there was a great move by Counsell. So
now the other thing that's almost historic is Justin Steele will be technically starting back-to-back games in the regular season games. I mean that hasn't happened probably in 50, 60 years, right?
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about just kind of his prospects? Arizona, of course, is it's like a pitcher's park, except that for the triples in the alleys, right? I mean, that's the whole. The alleys are huge.
No, Arizona. Well, okay. At this point in the year, yes, somewhat. It's a pitcher's park. In the heat of the summer, it's a home run haven.
Why do I think? I think the alleys are so huge. I always thought it wasn't really a pitcher's park, but whatever. I could be wrong.
I mean it's up there. I think I remember this. Like, if I'm remembering correctly, it's up there, just shy of Mile High Stadium. As far as like
that's for home runs
when the temperatures, the heat of the baseball season.
Yeah.
Now the cold weather, maybe it doesn't, but if I'm remembering correctly,
what's retractable roof?
Thin air.
It's retractable roof, though, isn't it?
Is it now?
I thought it was. Am I making stuff up? Am I making stuff up again? I don't know.
I might be too, honestly. I don't know. You got me doubting myself.
Be the judge and jury, Ethan.
Well, actually, I hate to be that guy, but Google is the jury, and it said it may be surprising to some to learn that Chase Field is not a homer-friendly ballpark. The 3-year rolling average for home runs is just 84, 16% less than average, and ranks 25th in all of MLB. So
okay.
So
I feel like I've heard the announcers say it like that it was a homer-friendly ballpark. That's also, they're not infallible.
When I ended this podcast, I'm going to put a cha-ching sound effect. Cha-ching. I was right.
I got the +1 on Marco being right in an argument. All right,
but yeah, that's my first argument I've won in like 22 years, guys. So, but Justin Steele, I mean, I'm excited to see him. You know, he didn't have his best stuff out there, but the thing about even when people thought he was dominant, he'd have a couple clunkers. They would come one every 9, 10, 12 starts, right? But he'd have a couple like little clunkers, and but he was always good at getting out of it, and you just couldn't do that against the Dodgers. That's a hard team to get out. So hopefully he gets back there, and we're also facing Zach Gallen.
Oh no, he gave up some runs against the reigning World Series champions.
Well, the Dodgers aren't a team you can make mistake pitches to and not pay the price.
Or that the umpire can make mistakes on the calls. But we won't talk about that.
We will be all year.
Hey guys, Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, MVP candidate. Do we have any?
Cy candidate, yes.
I mean, we got Matt Shaw could potentially be a Rookie of the Year candidate.
I mean, technically, yeah. But do you guys think he'll make a run for it?
I mean, the meatball in me hopes so.
Right. A lot of hope.
You know, he's got to put the spaghetti with my meatballs.
No, it's hard to say because, I mean, obviously, again, you don't want to take anything other 2 days. And before Japan, I would have said absolutely. But now it's like, okay, I need to see him do something for a week or two. So, I like him a lot.
I'm not judging anybody necessarily by what they did in Japan.
Yeah, of course not. I liked him a lot, but then when that happened, I'm like, okay, let me see. Let's see him. Let's see him give me a good week, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm back on board.
I mean, okay, elephant in the room time. When you see the guy that we just traded away for Kyle Tucker, who, you know, of course, does not necessarily match my opinion of it, but it's just facts. We just traded away the Astros starting third baseman to replace Alex freaking Bregman for a guy who has gotten one hit, like, you know, who's not done anything for us so far. So, I mean, how does it feel to you guys that Cam Smith made the opening day?
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm with Marco on that. He made the opening day roster because they don't have Alex Bregman. That is the only reason. And his other replacement, his competition, was Isaac Paredes, who my grandmother can hit harder than. Okay,
right.
So no, I'm not worried. Now, if we don't,
it's true. I watched your grandmother play back in the '70s, man. She was great.
Hey, I saw. I didn't
mean that. Hold on now.
I saw a super meatball article from an Astros reporter about Paredes.
Shocking.
About how awesome he would be as the starting third baseman of the Astros after we made the trade.
Yeah. Well, this is the face I make right here when I hear that shit. Right here. You see
and
that?
To be clear, just to be clear, I share the same opinion. Just asking how you felt about it. You know.
Well, if we don't make a push for Tucker, then my opinion changes. But
yeah,
I don't think Jed Hoyer in a contract year would make a trade of that magnitude with no plans to extend him. I think the Cubs front office, there is no way they don't know how much money he's going to ask for and what he's going to want. And I think they had to have taken that into account before they traded away one of their top prospects, a solid bullpen arm, and a decent, not even really decent, but a backup third baseman. They wouldn't have that much for a 1-year rental.
He was if he maintained career stats, he was all right. But
Isaac Paredes might do better home run wise with the short porch and the dome. But even then, I just think with all we gave up, the way that Jed is so cautious and does everything with thought and intent. Do we really think that there's no plan for Tucker? I mean, if we bid a ridiculously high amount, we lose. That's one thing. But all the people that say we're not even going to make an effort, come on.
Well, the other thing about Cam is listen, I wish him well, man. I really do. And
of course.
He's a good kid, I'm sure. But like watching some of the comments and looking at frankly Bleacher Report, right? Because they have whatever they cover the Cubs comprehensively because they have the staff to do it. But that means they post their takes and everything. Well, seeing some of the comments of the Cubs fans, it's like when the one that I kind of reacted to was someone comparing to the Lou Brock trade way back in the day, and it was like, that was like literal trading a Hall of Famer for someone who had a 5-year right the rest of his career, like that. No, that's dumb. And I get it, it's emotional and all that stuff. But man, I hope Cam does well. But I'm not looking back. I mean, you just have to move on, and that's how. I don't care about Cam Smith. I don't care. I really don't. If he hits 180 or 380, I don't give a shit. He's not in the Cubs. I don't care. And someone's trying to take me to check. Yeah. Well, go ahead, Rob.
I mean, so I'm very developmentally minded. Mm-hmm. Like I love prospects. I love them. And I'm admittedly one of the guys who probably in arguments on the internet, I highly overvalue prospects.
Yeah.
However, my sensible mind sees it as, okay, yeah, I hope Cam Smith goes and does well, because that means that we made a good selection. Our scouts had it right. Our management had it right. And and this is all assuming Tucker does well and signs with us long term, and that's our right fielder of the future. Yeah, all those balls place.
A lot of variables.
But if it all works out, then we look like geniuses because we secured the next generation of Chicago Cubs right fielder.
Right.
I
think to me it's like.
So I hope he does do well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the other side. I don't care. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I agree to an extent. But like, I just want the guys that are on our team in our lineup to do well. I want to re-sign Tucker, of course I do. But you made that trade to make this year's team better, and it did. And I think you have to deal from strength. And frankly, we have a strong minor league system. Now, you're not going to get a Kyle Tucker for a single A prospect.
No.
All right, guys. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited to see the game tonight, obviously, and this is it. This is game 3. But shit. Every day is going to be a what time do I have to stop doing what I do and go watch TV? But today we did watch a lot of games. They had a good schedule today of games.
Yep.
And there's a couple we want to talk about because they're pretty significant. Number one, The Chicago freaking White Sox. What's that all about? They took on they did a good job together the Angels and I mean they're gonna win 50 or 60. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna compete. But let's talk a little about just our crosstown semi rivals. I mean, what do you guys think is their ceiling this year? I mean, again, last year I think it was like they only won like 40 games last year, right? That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is a ceiling for them. I just think that there's maybe a basement that they can.
Yeah, what's
There's
the
a basement ceiling for them.
what's the basement for them?
I think if they have over 55 wins, everything this year went right for them, and their fans.
Yeah, I was gonna say 60.
Yeah.
So like 60 would be a good year, right?
Well, they're gonna win the world. They're gonna act like they won the World Series if they only lose 99. I feel if they don't hit the three, three digits. They're gonna be excited. Yeah, because I mean, go ahead, Ian. Sorry.
I was just they hit 3 home runs today. I think was it 3 home runs? And Andrew Benintendi at one time was a good baseball player. So I guess if Sox players turn it around, 55 wins possible. I guess.
See, it was a tight game, and what it was funny because it was a tight game, and they did twice. They did what they didn't do last year. Number one, they held the lead late, right? We were talking about like gambling earlier. Last year I bet against the White Sox every week, almost every day. And remember that 20-game losing streak? It was perfect for me. But because they would blow leads late, or they wouldn't add on. Today they did both. So I mean, again, it's one day. We're not trying to overstate it, but and I like as I've told you before, I don't want them to win 10 games, but at the same time, they did good. They did all right today. I think it'll be interesting to see how they. I don't know. I don't. I'm stumbling over because I really don't want them to do well. At the same time, it's like, yeah, if they do, that's good for Chicago baseball, I suppose.
Oh, see, yeah. At the end of every day, I have always said that I'm a Chicago sports fan over everything. So I want the White Sox to do well because I want to meet them in the World Series and freaking crush them.
Well, you have to wait for 10 years for that.
I want that.
More.
you have to wait for a while for that.
Yeah, this is a statistical improbability at this juncture. But
and there's no L series
so well at the same time we're doing well that we just have to beat the brakes off of them, and that'll be glorious.
Juan Soto, guys. Juan Soto made his Mets debut today. Struck out with the bases loaded, or struck out late with a chance to tie it up. How do you think he fits in for the Mets? I'm just like I said we shared a document. I said they're still the Mets.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Juan Soto is kind of an enigma to me because you guys read some of the contract stuff. I think the Yankees offered him like maybe $5 to $7 million less than the Mets. So it kind of makes you wonder what his prerogative was to go to the Mets in the first place. I think Juan Soto would have been way better off on the Yankees personally.
Yeah.
The Mets are kind of like the Guardians of the NL. Like they've had some good teams the past few years, but they just find new and innovative ways to lose in the playoffs. So
they're fun to watch.
I don't know many people that would rather go from the Bronx Bombers to the frickin' Mets, but
right.
Got that bag, I guess.
I got a that's a whole other off-season conversation about
for sure.
The value of the bag versus the value of the personal loyalty and whatnot. But that's a whole other conversation.
Absolutely. It's hard.
Did you guys see Mackenzie Gore's stat line?
No.
Dude went 6 innings of 1-hit ball, no walks, 13 strikeouts.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Against the Phillies. So not against a bunch of bums.
Yeah, you know,
pretty solid outing. I mean, there's
Nationals bullpen's going to bullpen though.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the tough part.
he can't help that.
It's okay. Washington's got Alex Ovechkin about to be making history. They're focused on that. They'll be all right.
True.
Yep, correct.
So we got the Central games.
I appreciated that one. That was I
mean that's the thing. That's the thing. I think you know, there's a lot of people to kind of keep an eye on every year, and this is the beauty of like regular season opener, right? Every year it's like, who are these people that just all of a sudden emerge and become like the next stars? And
Skeens in his first opening day start went 5 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts,
and the Pirates lost. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, yeah, no, but it was a decent for his first opening day start. That's the promise. That's an
he's a stud. He's a stud. He's going to be there all season.
Oh, dude, he's so fun to watch pitch.
Yeah.
Like, just, I don't give a shit about the Pirates games as long as they lose.
If he's pitching against the Cubs, he's not fun to watch.
No, he is just.
Well, that would, like I said, I don't give a shit as long as they lose. But he is phenomenal. It's just ridiculous watching him.
I mean, they found their ace. I mean, then they locked him in. I think.
Now they're going to neglect him and trade him away in 2 years.
No, I think that's the guy they're going to.
That's about what they're known for.
Right, but I think they're going to be fine though. I think they'll be fine. So the 2 more questions I want to ask you guys before we move on. But like the one thing is, how much do the Cubs win this division by? We all have them winning the division. And then the other is, how long before the Cubs' full team reaches 6 home runs, which the Orioles did today in one day. So, you know, let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, Orioles just ripping the ball everywhere. I mean, you know, it's
crazy, kind of dude, right?
Kind of tongue in cheek. How many games do the Cubs take to reach 6 home runs? But we don't have any yet. We're going to game 3. Talk about just Ethan. What do you think? I mean, the Orioles, they bash the ball, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not too crazy about Toronto's pitching staff, but you got to give credit where credit's due.
That's true.
The Orioles are a power team. 6 home runs in one day is quite a bit. I'm not taking away from that, but to hear that the Orioles did it, I mean, I'm not super shocked. I think it'll probably be, well, I don't know, probably to the homestand.
I mean, I think we might get 6 against the A's in the first game, but so maybe
I don't know. See, that's where you and I differ, my friend. I think the A's are going to be a sneaky team this year. They've got their core, if you can call it that.
Yeah, right.
And they've got a couple decent offseason signings for the A's. I mean, they spent money this offseason, which, you know, they could have taken their players out to McDonald's, and I would have been thrilled and surprised that, you know, that's just how cheap Fisher is. And so... Yeah, I think it's going to take us to the homestand to get that 6 home run mark. Unfortunately, we have always, the past few years, just started out a little slow. So I don't know why it would be any different this year, given how Japan started. So,
well, hopefully we licked our wounds, right, and are able to get back here and back stateside and do some. I mean, Rob, what are your thoughts on the whole
6 home runs in what is it? 6 games, 7 games. 6 home runs in 7 games.
Well, remember we have 0 through 2, so
I understand.
And we're in Arizona.
I think we make it. I think we make it on Tuesday at the Athletics, April Fool's Day. We're gonna hit our 6th on Tuesday.
We'll do a pop-up podcast on that day. It was Rob Wright, yes or no?
And you said, Ethan, you said it'll be at least Friday.
I think it won't be till the Padres.
Yeah, these are kind of hard.
What about you, Marco?
I think the A's. I think the A series is going to be it. I mean, like I think.
I broke it down to a day.
I'm getting there. You know, we'll get a couple in Arizona, I think, and kind of break the seal a little bit. But I think I'm going to say the 3rd game against the A's, we'll get our 6th home run. There's all just like tongue in cheek, but I do think that. But hitting's contagious and all those other cliches, right? I mean, once one starts, you might.
All right, so do you got Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, Ethan?
I'll say Friday.
Friday. Okay.
So speaking of, let's talk about Cubs D-backs, man, because I think we got a tough one tonight. Man, Gallen is a good. He just goes to the pitch. We got Steele, we got Tyon, which was it. What are your thoughts on that flip where they flipped Tyon and Shota here for 2 and 3? Rob, what are your thoughts on that? I just found that out today. Actually, I was paying attention really.
Yeah, I was just reading about that not too long ago. I mean, we're not seeing Burns. They're not seeing Shota. I guess
they'll see Shota in third game.
Yeah. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Now that I'm looking
maybe because it's the 4-game stand, and given that we're already 0-2, maybe they wanted to space them out to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm struggling to think of a reason outside of just intelligent.
They're playing the splits, I think.
Splits management and whatnot. Give them a lefty, lefty.
Right. That's what I was
which I think is probably the way to go. That way you force their hands with some things. Got it. Whatever. You can look into that as deep as you want to, but I think the long and short of it is just left, right, left, probably, right?
Yeah, probably. That's what I'm thinking too. I think. But I was curious that they didn't start Tyon in Japan. I don't know. Tyon, he's an interesting guy. Man. He could really. He's a guy who could like. I'm not going to necessarily say Cy Young, but he could be like a tier 2 pitcher, or he could be a disaster.
He could be
a ridiculous stretch last year. People forget that.
That's what I'm saying.
He could be a guy that gets
wins out of it.
He could be a guy that gets a Cy Young vote or 3, maybe.
Yeah, I mean that depends on
but not really a contender. I wouldn't say.
Well, that depends how the other Cubs pitchers do, right? Because if Justin and Shota do well, he's not going to get. No one's going to vote for three Cubs in the Cy Young race. So I think that. But that said, like I said, I think he could be a really good second tier guy.
That's funny. I just went to look up like Tyon stats and something I've never noticed before. He's pitched in 201 games in his career. 200 of them have been starts. 1 was a save.
There you go.
That's wild. 1 save. The only relief appearance he's ever made.
That's our stat of the day right there, right? He's a career 100% save percentage.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know about that.
As we're going into the game tonight, I mean, I'm excited to kind of obviously, there's the simple narrative like let's get this going on stateside, but I would not be surprised if PCA gets a triple today, with that park and that huge. I mean, he might even get into the Parker before the weekend's over.
He's got a triple in Arizona for sure.
Ethan, what are you looking for this weekend or this week? I keep forgetting. It's a weekend series, but what are you looking for?
Yeah, it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right?
I'd be happy if we split with Arizona, and I'd be beyond thrilled if we could take 2 out of 3 from Oakland. We've got a tough month. If we can somehow get 500,
even Oakland
close, if we're get 500 or close to it by the end of this month. I'm on April, I should say, not March.
Right.
I'd be thrilled because we've got a gauntlet. But I also think the caveat to that is we're going to see how much our off-season additions and off-season work have paid off this month. We're going right through the gauntlet to start the season, so that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. We'll have to wait and see.
I mean, we go 500 through this gauntlet, and then we get to face some of the not so goods, right? Number one. The team gels, right? Number 2, people get into their grooves. The other side of it is how do we? Like you said though, you really are able to see the skill level versus last year's skill level. That's the key for this first couple of weeks.
Holy cow!
Rob, tell us what you're holy cowing.
I hadn't fully looked at the April schedule yet, and I've of course read that Tubbs got a tough front of the year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! I mean, we go from the Diamondbacks to the A's, who I think the A's are sneaky good, and then Padres, Rangers, Dodgers, Padres, D-backs, Dodgers, Phillies. We don't play. First of all, we do not play a divisional opponent until the end of April, which is wild.
That. I like that.
But
keep it for the end of the year.
But cool, yeah. No, I'm cool with it. Kind of that'll give us some time to ramp up. But my goodness, our April is brutal, and May isn't much better except for the Sox and the White Sox. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. May's much better. Actually.
Well, this is it's all going to pan out the way it pans out, right? I mean, that's
yeah.
We think we have a better team, so you know what? Bring it on, and let's get these guys early and see if we can go toe to toe with them, and if we can't, at least we have time to recover. So that's the whole thing about just trying to make sure that we get off to a good start. It's going to be tough to do. Rob, what are you looking for this week? Arizona, Oakland. How do you think we'll be doing this?
This week, I will, the rest of this calendar week, the Arizona opening. I'll be happy to see. I'll be happy to see our starters come out and limit runs. Obviously, I mean, cliche as hell, but they come out, they limit the runs to 2-3 runs. You give this lineup less than 3 runs, I think we got it.
I like our I listen, and I like our lineup because any one of them can get hot. We have about 4 or 5 guys. All right, maybe that's overstated. At least a couple guys who can get hot and carry the whole team is what I'm saying. Right?
Okay. I mean,
like Kyle Tucker gets hot, cool. Ian Happ gets hot, Seiya gets hot, and you know how you need that over the course of 162 games.
Heat emanates, man. You know how that is. Like the heat emanates. Tucker gets that hot. They're gonna want to pitch to Happ to get him out.
Right.
Tucker gets that hot. They're gonna pitch around him to get to Suzuki, one of the top tier hitters in all of baseball for many months of last season. Like
that's what I'm saying. When you have the depth of lineup that I think we have, it's very rare for all of them to be in a slump at the same time.
It's really a good lineup. It really is. Like completely objectively or subjectively.
Ethan, what do you think about going this week? When we come back on here next week, what's our record going to be?
Ooh. Man, if our record was 4-6, right?
There'll be 9 games. There'll
be 1, 2, 3.
If we were 4 and 5, we were 4 and 5, I'd be happy.
6, 7.
Same here. I think that's where I would go to.
No, we'll have 7 games.
No, we already have 2 in Japan, man. Then we have 4 against Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think, but again, like the only way I'll be upset is if we're 0-9. That's the only way that I'm like, what the hell is going on? So, but anyway, what, guys, that's again, just excited to get going. And I think it's here. We are now an hour and about hour and a half. I'm going to go play video games for an hour and a half. So, when you guys, just kind of what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing for the game? I know, Ethan, you said you have a little special thing planned every year, right?
Yeah. Every year me and my wife get together and get some family and friends, and we watch opening day. So gonna be less of a crowd this year because we've got 3-month-old at home, but still be fun. Right. So,
Rob, what are you gonna do? Grab a beer, pop open a beer, watch the Cubbies, and go.
Just sit with the wife and watch the Cubbies.
Nice.
At this time of year and night.
I might run out for a 6. I think you inspired me, Rob, to go run off and grab a 6-pack for a night.
You should do it.
I'll tell my clients that I won't be available in the morning. But you know what, guys? This is exciting. Finally getting back to it. And listen,
Ready.
Let me know. Is this your first season when you're going to have a podcast going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a trick question? Why do you guys take so long to ask?
Shit, I thought that was a question for the loyal 7 listeners we have.
Hey, we had like 20, we had 40 views last week. No, me too. Though I've done podcasts before, but this is my first time doing a sports podcast in season, so I'm excited. Rob, appreciate you.
My first podcast at all.
Okay, Ethan, same.
I've got another local podcast that I'm working on. My uncle was the local radio guy from my hometown. He was abruptly. They were all let go. So they closed down the radio station. So now we're all doing a podcast. It's nothing exciting. It'll just be local news and politics.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah,
I've
got one planned, but it's like a year plus out. So
I have a couple planned. I have planned so many times, but I want to show you one thing. I want to show you my companion for my game is this little lion cub.
Oh, nice.
my niece sent it to me for my birthday. So, but we got the cubbies. Now we're all doing show and tell.
I've got my MVP candidate for the year.
There you go. There you go. Keep that thing nice and crisp and clean and.
Yep. It's going in a hard sleeve.
And Ethan's got family.
Because I love him.
So,
Rob, I'm gonna have to send you my baseball card collection sometime. You'd be shocked with some of the stuff I've got.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, next time there's a convention nearby, you guys should go and get some footage for this podcast, and we can talk baseball cards for an hour.
Nearby? You mean in the middle of Kentucky, in between the two of us?
No, I meant like nearby, like Chicago for Ethan and Atlanta or wherever you are, or Savannah. I mean.
There we go. Okay, gotcha.
Like they have collectors tours, right? People go on tour around the country.
Oh yeah.
But we promise 40 minutes only because we want to watch a Cubs. So let's go, Rob, Ethan. Thanks for obviously every week we're getting better and better. I feel and I think
agreed.
Enjoy the conversation. We will talk to you again next week. Anybody out there who's watching, appreciate you. And for the first time. Stateside, let's say go Cubs go. Rob, Ethan, want to say goodbye?
Yeah. Go Cubs go.
Go Cubs go, baby.
See everybody.
I love you, baby. I love you.